Jets football is back this week, and we are here to preview their first preseason game. Hey, what's going on? Matt O'Leary here, back with another video. Before we get into the Jets versus Eagles preseason game, make sure to follow on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. Check out the Just Jets podcast, wherever it is you get your podcast, and of course, bonus content over on Patreon. Make sure to check that out as well. So we had the practices and training camp in the green and white scrimmage, but the first preseason game is tomorrow. Football is back. We are getting New York Jets football, and yes, it doesn't matter about wins and losses, so I'm not necessarily going to break down what I think my prediction is going to be, what the score is going to be, but we'll go through and kind of look at things that I'm looking for and just, overall what you can expect from this game, which I think is, fair and reasonable. And we'll take a look. We'll be watching on Friday. So Friday's video is going to be a reactionary video to the post game, and we'll kind of just go through. I'm really looking forward to the New York Jets being back in action. Oh, love it. Gotta love it. So according to Robert Saleh, you could expect the starters to play for a series or two. So, that's probably going to end up being the first quarter, I would imagine, roughly. And I think, obviously, everyone's going to be looking at Zach Wilson the most. And that's probably where my eyes are going to be focused on is Zach Wilson. How does he look? So far throughout training camp, it's been up and down, depending on the day. I think he's gotten better. And he definitely is further along than he was last year, which is a good sign. But the true test is really going to be how do you look in game situations. And, the green and white scrimmage is kind of like a game situation, but not exactly. It's a glorified practice, which is fine. It's still just an opportunity for fans to see the team and stuff like that. But this is really going to be our first look at year two Zach Wilson in game situations. He's not going to go up against his own team. We'll see how many starters end up playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. But overall, this is a team in Philadelphia who a lot of people are picking them to win the NFC East. They were a playoff team last year. They could very well be a wild card even if they don't make the playoffs winning the division and Dallas wins the division. To me, I think it's a two-horse race, but that's a different conversation. But, overall, this is a pretty good football team. And this will be a little bit of a test for Zach. The Jets played them last year and didn't look that great against them, especially in the second half of that game. Things really fell apart. But overall with Zach Wilson, I think, if he's able to look the part through the first quarter, then you're in pretty good shape. The questions will begin if the offense just really doesn't look good. They don't have any sustained drives. They're going 3 and out. He's not. He has the happy feet in the pocket. He's not hitting the check down stuff. He's inaccurate, throws interceptions. You guys know. So hopefully for Zach, he comes out, just looks smooth. The offense clicks a little bit, and you see something. They're going to keep it basic. Mike LaFleur is not going to be in his booth LaFleur, in his bag stage, but it'll be cool to see Zach Wilson out there. Another guy that I'm looking forward to watching is Max Mitchell at right tackle. There's supposedly a real chance that he wins this right tackle job. Now, I don't know if that's being used as leverage to get someone's price down like Dwayne Brown or whoever. But if the Jets really do believe in Max Mitchell, who was taken in the 4th round, then I would say start him. Don't have Chumadoga start at right tackle for this game. Start Max Mitchell. Let's see what he looks like in a couple of drives and how he fares against opposing pass rushers. I think obviously this will be his first test. I still think it would be wise to bring in some the veteran insurance here, but overall with Max Mitchell, they are obviously very high on this kid. I think he's more of a developmental guy, so I'm a little worried about him starting right away. It's possible that he can and succeed. We've seen guys in the later rounds come in and start and have success right away, but to me, I just think how I evaluate him, I think he's a little bit more of a developmental guy, so I think he could benefit from sitting, but if the Jets think he's further along, all right, let's give him a look. Let's see what he looks like at this point and where he's at in his developmental part heading into training camp in the first week of the season. And I think, obviously, get him in there. We know what Chuma is. He's a veteran at this point. Connor McDermott's banged up, but we know what he is. We have no idea what Max Mitchell is. Start him. Let's see what he looks like. Then Carl Lawson is another guy. We're going to see him in a game situation. Obviously, it's been since the preseason last year since we last saw him, which is unfortunate because man, was I looking forward to watching Carl Lawson play in 2021. Didn't get that opportunity, but he is going to be back. Robert Saleh is excited to see him play. And again, a series or two. So 1 or 2 drives he's going to be in on, but that stuff matters to me. I want to see what he looks like out on the field again. Get the motor going, maybe get a sack. Let's get the people excited. And just overall, like, how's he looking in the in-game pace? He's kind of come back and taken it slow, as the Jets should, but overall, I think that's something that we could be excited about, is Carl Lawson being back on the field. The rookies is another one. Like, obviously, they're a team that's going to rely on rookies a ton going forward, and we're going to see guys like Breece Hall play. We're going to see guys like Garrett Wilson play. How do they look? On the defense, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson. You go right down the line. Max Mitchell, we talked about earlier. These guys are expected to come in, and they'll play right away. And the ones like Michael Clemens and Jeremy Ruckert, they probably won't play with the first team, but we'll get a chance to see them later in the game. And this is really what the game's all about, is when, and the preseason's all about, you'll see, the lesser guys and, the guys fighting for roster spots, and see, how they look on the bottom half of the roster. And you really get an opportunity to just see how deep your team is going into the 2022 season. So just overall, how do the rookies look? Does anyone look out of place? That's something I'll be keeping an eye on. And then from the Eagles' perspective, really the last thing that we'll get into here, and then you guys in the comments and social media let me know, but I want to see how the Jets look against a running quarterback. And obviously that's talking about Jalen Hurts, because they play a running quarterback in week 1 of the regular season in Lamar Jackson. Now, obviously Jalen Hurts isn't Lamar Jackson. No one is. Lamar's a special guy, but I would be curious to see how they're able to contain Jalen. What's their plan to contain him? I think Quan Alexander is probably your best shot, or Jordan Whitehead coming down in the box. And I think those additions, Quan, Jordan Whitehead, DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner even, are going to really help out. Jermaine Johnson's another one too. Almost forgot to mention him. Are going to help out in the run game and help contain a quarterback like Jalen Hurts. Obviously, again, it's not a one-for-one comparison, but it'd be a nice little look and see how the Jets are going to be able to contain Lamar in week 1, or what their plan might be to contain Lamar in week 1. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day if the Jets win or lose this game. You're kind of just, again, it's a more game-like situation practice. Yes, there's a winner and a loser, but sometimes there's a last-second Hail Mary and there's a tie. Like, these things happen. So overall, I'm just happy Jets football is back. Let me know your predictions, what you think is going to happen in this game. Sound off in the comments or on socials. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. I'll talk to you next time.